Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name is Victoria. We are here discussing the upcoming new moon in Virgo on either the 22nd or the 23rd of August, depending on where you are in the world. This is going to be the first of two Virgo new moons. The next one will be September 21st, and it will be a solar eclipse. So there's a lot of planetary influences and energies going on. We've got a very mixed bag of energy that is happening. And with the next Virgo new moon being that eclipse, we are going to probably start feeling eclipse energy now. So if you haven't been preparing for eclipses, welcome. Okay, so because we are going to have some breakups, some shakeups, some movement, and some new beginnings, and potentially hear some cleansing and clearing as we go through this particular new moon energy. So as I said, this new moon is in the sign of Virgo. Now, a new moon, what is a new moon? It's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. It's where we recognize our infinite possibilities. This is a symbolic kind of portal to manifestation. We can set intentions, or we can do something a little different. We can do something new, try something that we haven't tried before, or pick something back up again. We do have a lot of retrograde energy with this particular moon. The new moon is also a good time for clarifying our intentions, making a wish for healing, and sometimes there to receive a little bit of cosmic guidance. So the new moons are really that fresh energy, that new opportunities, or the time that we can turn over a new leaf. Now, this particular new moon has an extra dose of newness to it, almost to the point where it's so new that the ideas or the energies haven't quite come together. This new moon is happening at 0 degrees. And when we have a 0 degree, right, think of, zero. There's no beginning, there's no end. Some people start their zeros at the bottom and meet them back around. Some people start their zeros at the top, right? But there's no beginning and no end. And so we can certainly see this as a potential to cleanse and purge for the completely new, fresh start. But we can also have some things that are formulating in our mind, right? So this is a great new moon to get grounded. Virgo is an earth sign. Great new moon to get grounded, to sit in some calm and some quiet, and just allow your thoughts to run wild. Allow yourself to be in like receiving kind of energy, because some of you are going to receive some very interesting things at this new moon. So 0, what does 0 represent, right? 0, depending on how you count the numbers of your tarot deck, 0 can represent the Fool. It's not card 1. Card 1 is the Magician. So it's the Fool kind of energy. And that is the new moon. Jump right in, take a leap of faith, take a chance, start something new, do something different. Have that fresh start, that new beginning. Now, this new moon, not only is it at 0 degrees, all right, but it is in the sign of Virgo. Now, normally Virgo energy is very down to earth. We focus on practical matters, daily matters. Our work, our home, our daily routines, our habits, our patterns, our health. Virgo is a mutable earth sign. And so if you know any Virgo people, okay, you will know that they typically do tend to be quite helpful to other people. They're often quite modest. It is the sign of service to others. A lot of healthcare workers are Virgos, or have a very significant Virgo placement somewhere in their chart, whether they are doctors, nurses, massage therapists, anything along those lines. They can also be really good like corporate trainers, kind of thing, because they're helping others, right? Helping others learn, helping others grow. Great mentors sometimes are Virgos. Very detail-oriented, very analytical, often very organized, very practical, and often a perfectionist. Now, with all that energy, sometimes that can go a little bit overboard. Do you know a Virgo that lives in constant organized chaos? Are they a perfectionist to the point where maybe they're a little bit OCD, or they're really hard on themselves because they didn't get it quite right? So when we look at this Virgo new moon, we look at things Virgo, right? And most significantly, our daily habits, the practical things that we do day to day. Think about your daily routines. You get up. Do you wake up with your alarm? Do you hit your snooze button 40 times? This can be a new moon where you do something a little bit different. And if you do hit your snooze button a whole bunch of times, and now you're in a rush, right? Maybe this, as soon as your alarm goes off, get up. That can be your new thing. Some of you might wake up before your alarm. Great. Pitter patter, let's get at her. What do you do first? Do you look at your phone? Grab your phone and see what you missed while you were sleeping? Do yourself a favor. 5 minutes in the morning. Don't touch your phone. Do your things, right? Get up. Usually, most people head to the washroom, right? Get up, go to the washroom, make your coffee, whatever it happens to be. For the first 5 minutes or so, just don't touch that phone. This is where we are still in a little bit of a dream state. Our subconscious is still really the most powerful thing. Our conscious mind is like, what time is it? I'm not ready to get up yet. Great, go back to sleep. I'm going to do my own stuff. And so in the mornings, that first 5 minutes, it can just be where we're just being human. We're not worried about external factors, right? And that technology that can sometimes lead us down a rabbit hole and disrupts our energy quite a lot, actually. So the first 5 minutes of your day, try something a little bit different. Just leave that phone alone. Perhaps, perhaps you are going to do something a little different. Get up in the morning, maybe spend 5-10 minutes in just a little morning meditation, a morning gratitude session, something, right? So whatever it happens to be, your Virgo energy is the 6th house. And so it is the things that we do repetitively on a day-to-day basis. And so this is a time where you're encouraged with this particular new moon, and we'll get to why in a minute. You're very much encouraged to not just follow the same old formula day after day, but infuse something new, something different, and maybe make some little small changes. Those small changes, those small things that we do add up to big things. Some of you are really going to be finding yourself at this kind of critical fresh start degree. Some of you may be moving to a new house. Maybe you're leaving a relationship. Maybe if you've been having trouble, eating healthy or getting in shape, all these things, maybe you're going to make a doctor's appointment. The 6th house has to do with your pets. Some of you might be getting a new pet at this time, or perhaps it's just a great time to focus on your pet health and take them for a vet checkup and maybe some grooming or whatever, right? Something new. Maybe you got a new vet, right? Some of you could be finding new health practitioners. So you get where I'm going. But some of you here, it has to do with your work, what you do for a living, where you work, how you get to work, right? Some of you might be focused on reducing your commute. Maybe you've been working at home for a long time and you're starting to go a little stir crazy because you're looking at your own 4 walls and you're like, I need some adult contact. And so maybe you're looking for something just a little bit different, maybe not completely leave your work from home gig that you've got going on, but maybe do something a little bit more hybrid. So you've got little one-on-one human interaction there, but you also still do have flexibility to work from home. Some of you may have a home-based business that you want to start up or expand at this time. So there's a whole bunch of things that can go on with this Virgo energy, but ultimately Virgo energy is practical, down to earth, but willing to change. Mutable energy. All right. And hold on to that mutable energy, because we got some really interesting astrology going on with this new moon. First off, and I won't say easy energy either, okay? Remember, we've got pure potential here with this new moon at 0 degrees, all right? But we've got a square to Uranus, okay? Now, a square energy is what? Difficult, right? Difficult. We're squaring off with somebody or something. We're not seeing eye to eye. Can represent some conflict, restrictions, challenges. It's definitely not a harmonious energy, right? It can sometimes represent delayed gratification, right? You're trying to achieve something, but there's some delays. You're hitting some roadblocks. Is it permanent? No. But will you feel it? Yeah, very much so. So a square to Uranus is very much a wild card, right? Uranus is the wild card of astrology anyway, right? We never know quite what we're going to get. It's electrifying. It's shocking. It's sudden. Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. The key phrase with Uranus is I evolve. And again, Uranus is tied to the Fool card. Uranus is the modern day ruler of Aquarius. We have Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto does play a key role in this new moon. Pluto in Aquarius Pluto is power. Pluto is things that are hidden. Pluto rules our need to change, transform, end things so we can have a better way, a better start, a new tomorrow. Pluto in Aquarius can bring power to the people, right? And we see a lot of shakeups, right? It's that Uranus rebellious energy that's coming in. So when we've got this square to Uranus, it's almost like, if you're familiar with earthquakes, right? It's almost like these tectonic plates just kind of rubbing against each other, and they're stuck and they're stuck and they're stuck, and all of a sudden, boom, we explode, right? And so this is where anything goes. Anything can happen, right? Are you going to win big? Lose big? There can be sudden twists of fate with this, right? Once that square lets go. Random events. We can have accidents, shocking news. It's rebellious, but it's freeing. Uranus ultimately shakes us, breaks us, shakes us out of a rut, shakes us free of stagnation, helps us let go of those things that we've been clinging desperately onto. And it's for freedom, for our future. We can see the future a little bit better. We can see the future maybe clearly, maybe still a little bit muddled. We do have Neptune at play with this new moon as well. But Uranus is shocks and surprises, so we could get some unexpected news. This can be on a global scale. This can be something in your daily life. This can be something where maybe you have some unexpected news to share with people. All right. We do have Jupiter in Cancer still. So, surprise pregnancy announcement, things like that. Something may happen just out of the blue. But again, we can have some sudden twists of fate, some sudden unexpected happenings. So whether you are a conscious observer of things going on around you, or whether it's something impacting you directly, all right, anything can really go when we've got Uranus at play, right? And it's almost like a challenge. I challenge you to change. I challenge you to say something. I challenge you to let something go. I challenge you to take a leap of faith. Also, very interestingly, at this new moon, well, before I get into that, we do have Mercury, by the way. Mercury is the ruler of Virgo, and Mercury is direct, yay. I don't know about you guys, but man, the last few Mercury retrogrades have just knocked it right out of the park. And this last one was no exception, especially right the week when, last week when Mercury turned direct, but we still got the shadow period. Holy moly, just I'm very happy for Mercury to settle back down. But Mercury is our planet of communication and big ideas and technology and all these things. But Mercury is direct in the sign of Leo, the sign of courage, the sign of facing your fears, the sign of leadership, taking the lead, taking charge. So this can be a really good new moon for you where you can take charge. Instead of following the leader, you are the leader. Instead of following a formula, you're breaking the mold. Thank you, Uranus. But we got the courage to do that because Mercury is in Leo. So you got an idea? This is a time to put it in motion, right? And maybe things are still coming together a little bit. It's 0 degrees, right? So we've got this big idea, but we just don't know where to start, right? Remember that 0 has no beginning and no end. So it's a good time to get grounded, to take charge, right? To, let go of, that I have to do it a certain way kind of thinking. Uranus is encouraging you not to do that. Dance to the beat of your own drum. Do it your way. Now, like I was about to say, we have a very, very interesting astrology going on here, and this will repeat over in 2026. But 2025 itself is a little bit of a dress rehearsal for 2026. So we get a little flavor, a little taste of what is to come. And it has to do with all these outer planets, all moving signs, right? Pluto, we're a little bit used to this energy now. Pluto moved into Aquarius, right? Did a little song and dance, back and forth, very much firmly in Aquarius now. Granted, it is retrograde at the moment. We also have Saturn and Neptune have changed signs. Uranus has changed signs, right? So all of these outer planets changing signs all in the same year, even though they are going to retrograde a little bit, right? And then 2026, full steam ahead. Very slow moving, so as full steam ahead as they can go. But we have what is called a yod at this new moon. And so this is where we have 2 planets, all right, that are sextiling each other. But then we've got a quincunx or an inconjunct as well. And in this case, and so if you were to look at it on like the astro wheel, it looks like a really long, elongated triangle. All right. The 2 planets at the bottom, right? They're getting along, right? They're like, hey, how's it going? Right? This is great. Let's work together. Let's communicate, right? And then boom, we've got the tip of the triangle up top, which is where the sun and the moon are. And it's a blind spot, right? We can't see it. We don't have anything called difficulty in communication, difficulty seeing things clearly. It's upsetting the little happy medium that we've got with the 2 bottom planets. So we do have Neptune and Saturn in a sextile to Pluto. So this can be really good to get clarity, to reveal what's hidden. Saturn, of course, can help us see reality, to set some goals, or to, be down to earth kind of thing. Neptune, dreams, intuition, spirituality, also some illusion sometimes there as well. And Pluto is like, hold on a second. Let's help you make some change. Let's help you let some things go. And let me dig into the details a little bit, because Pluto does live in the shadow. Pluto likes to go down deep and then bring something up to the surface, right? So they're all kind of very much helping each other. But then the sun and the moon come in and no one knows what to do with this energy. So this can be some very interesting happenings that are going on. But when we have this particular aspect, it is very unusual, especially with the outer planets participating. It's very rare, very, very rare. The last time some of this energy happened was 36 years ago, is when we had the last one here with the new moon. But then there's some other connections there that go way back to like the year 300. So it's quite rare, but we will see a little bit of this next year as well. But the yod is known as the finger of fate, the finger of God. It signifies challenges, significant life challenges, but also opportunities for personal growth. It can be a spiritual awakening for a lot of people. Fated events and happenings, right? So it's like it's up to fate. And again, like we said a little bit earlier, sudden twists of fate can happen with this particular new moon. Are these necessarily easy energies? No. Some of you may get a spiritual assignment of some kind. Remember, Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. Pluto can be personal growth, change, transformation, spiritual growth as well. So it's all very much a mixed bag of energy, but very, very interesting nonetheless. But like I said, this is the first of 2 Virgo new moons. And so this new moon is tied to the solar eclipse that we will have in September. Now this Virgo new moon is at 0 degrees. In September, the solar eclipse will be at 29 degrees. All right, the aneretic degrees. So it's very critical at this time. And of course, you know, new moon energy is the next 6 months or longer with the eclipse coming in that can take up to a couple of years for everything to unfold. But most significantly, in the next 6 months or so, we're going to be feeling the after effects, the hangover, if you will, of this new moon and how things transform, how things unfold for you. But it can be liberating. Again, a little bit scary, maybe, right? Whenever we've got new energy, whenever we've got things moving and shaking. But again, things can come right out of the blue for us here in this. But this can be a good opportunity, period, for us, though. What's old can be new again. We do have retrogrades going on. Saturn and Neptune both in retrograde. Pluto is in retrograde. Uranus, thank goodness. Uranus is in Gemini, so huge, big ideas, good opportunities for communication or getting your voice heard, perhaps there as well. But retrogrades can represent something, reviving something, right? Resurrecting an old dream, an idea, maybe even resurrecting parts of yourself that have been previously hidden, that you have squirreled away. So some of you are having a resurgence of you. This is who I really am. And Uranus encourages the truth and encourages you to be who you are. Stand in the essence of your authenticity. Do it your way, baby. So anyway, so a lot of interesting things going on with this new moon. Very important to stay grounded. Okay, so whatever it is, remember Virgo is an earth sign. Okay, so one of the key ways you can work with this new moon, which is normally a little more peaceful than this one will probably be, connect with nature, go outside, right? Earth energy, okay? And that way maybe you won't feel so discombobulated with this moon. It can help you ground, it can help you gather your thoughts. It can help you feel rooted in reality, right? And it can help you navigate some of the interesting things, maybe some craziness that's going on. All right. Remember to breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Even if you're having just like a bad day, or you find that other people are just gone a little bit loopy, right? Take a few deep breaths in and out, avoid drama. And you should be able to navigate this moon a little more easily. Anyway, so let's pull a card here for the collective for this new moon. Let's see what cards have to say. And we have endless possibilities. My goodness, I love that this one has come out. Isn't that beautiful? Endless possibilities. Remember, there is no beginning, there is no end. Infinite potential, infinite possibilities. Anything can happen, anything can go, right? Where do you want to go? What are you wishing for? What are you hoping for? What do you want to change? What do you know needs to change, but maybe just hasn't happened yet, or you haven't had the courage to do it, or you haven't had a sense of direction. You may get all of this now. So embrace your potential to harness the unlimited, the endless possibilities that are in front of you. Use your imagination. Use your voice. Clear your mind. Make a wish, set an intention, but don't forget to do something. Take a first step. Getting out of your comfort zone is going to be very rewarding for you at this time, even if it's just little baby steps forward. So beautiful, beautiful card and beautiful message and a beautiful reminder. So having said that, we're going to pull some cards for each sign. We're going to highlight where this lunation is happening for you. And I will put the timestamps down below. We'll pull a couple cards for you, like I said, and see what messages are coming out for you guys. Watch your sun, moon, and your rising sign. All right, you're going to get the big picture in that way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go online. You can get a free birth chart. A whole bunch of different places have them. One place that I typically recommend to people is Cafe Astrology, just because they've got, it's a huge report and it really does explain it in really good detail. I have no affiliation with them. It's just one that I've had success with. And it's really easy to follow along, and you can get some very deep insights for you. And so that could help you, certainly. So having said that, we're going to go into each sign. Timestamps are going to be in the description box and in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic lunation, and we're going to get started. Bye. Hello there, Aries, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. This is going to be happening for you in your 6th house. So with your 6th house energy, this is ruled by Virgo, this is ruled by Mercury, and it's definitely focused on your health habits, patterns, daily routines, your work, the help, the service you give to others, your pets, all kinds of things. So this can certainly be where you're maybe focusing a little bit more on your health. Maybe you want to shake up your daily routines a little bit. So, if you've been trying to get in shape or something, going to the gym, this is now where you either get like a new personal trainer or try out a new fitness routine, do some new machines or something, or maybe do something a little bit fun as well. This can be where, again, some of you might be getting a new pet. You could be finding a healthcare practitioner, or something along those lines. Again, like if you're focused on your personal health, this can be where you go to the doctor. Maybe you find yourself a new doctor if you don't have one right now. Maybe your old one retired. And this can be where you find yourself a massage therapist that you really click and connect with. You could, maybe some of you even be thinking about changing what you do for a living and going into one of these fields, perhaps, right? Do something new, do something interesting, do something exciting. So your 6th house can be where you're doing something completely different, or maybe you're just throwing a little twist into something there just to shake up your daily routines in some way. But you could have some sort of idea, right? The 6th house ruled by Mercury. So you could have some sort of idea about something new, whether it's a project, whether it's maybe opening up your own business. It could be pretty much anything, right? Mercury is not just the ruler of Virgo. Mercury also does rule Gemini, and Uranus is in the sign of Gemini right now. And Uranus, again, is playing a really big role here in this moon, but we do have that square energy with Uranus. So, it can certainly be where there's like an imbalance of power in some way. It's like you have this idea, you want to do this thing, but maybe something's blocking you, right? And so you could really find that the best way forward for you might be to go on your own or dance to the beat of your own drum in some way, right? And it's like, I have an idea and I know this is going to work and I don't really care what anyone else says. So you could be finding yourself a little bit feisty and a little bit rebellious, certainly shocking, Aries, at this new moon. All right. But you're certainly encouraged to take the lead, take charge, and take some action. The tarot card we get for you is the Ace of Cups. What makes you happy? What feeds your heart and soul? Where do you want to feel good in your life? I do love that the Ace of Cups has come out here for you. Of course, aces are new energy or making those improvements. And the cups, of course, is emotional. So something that makes you feel good, puts love and laughter in your heart, puts a smile on your face, right? The Ace of Cups can certainly bring in new love, new beginnings, the things you love to do, or focus on more fulfillment in your life. Also, peace and forgiveness and healing do come in here with this as well. So it's like a cleanse and a purge of the things that have been holding you back, a cleanse and a purge of the things that have been making you unhappy, whether there's something with your physical body, your emotional body, something in your day-to-day life, right? This is like, how can we improve this? How can we make this better? And perhaps you are going to just throw a little caution into the wind there. All right. But that Ace of Cups can certainly also represent a little bit of luck. And one thing that I'm pretty sure forgot to mention in the intro was that shortly after this new moon, we do have some positive aspects with Jupiter. So, and Jupiter can certainly bring you some expansion and growth, something a little bit unexpected. And of course, it can bring you a little bit of luck. And the aces do tend to be a little bit lucky. They are a gift, whether it's a gift from someone in your real life, a gift from yourself, maybe you're treating yourself, or a gift from the universe, right? There's a gift of something here. So there's some blessings headed your way. And we have bearing fruit. Love this for you guys. Bearing fruit is something blossoming in your life. It's a time for you to blossom and grow and shine. It's time for you to spread your wings and fly. This is a tree, right? We have branches on our tree, but it's ultimately a time of growth, of harvest, and to reap your rewards. All right. So if anything's been standing in your way from being you, from being your best self, the best version of yourself, time to make that change and really step into your true power and potential. I'll leave that there for you, Aries. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful lunation. We'll move on now to Taurus. Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. So, for some of you here, I mean, this is happening in your fifth house, okay? So it does tend to be lighter and brighter and more pleasant and jovial. Your fifth house is ruled by the sun. It brings forward some Leo energy. So it does tend to be very light and very bright. The fifth house is about your self-expression. It can bring some drama sometimes, okay? But it is also about romance, love affairs, creativity, your hobbies, your interests, pleasure, the things that bring you happiness and joy. It can be your hobbies, right? So, you know, maybe if you haven't had a lot of time lately to do the things you love, whatever that is for you, this may be where you are wiping some things off your calendar so you can have some free time to pay more attention to bringing more happiness and joy into your life, or making time for your hobbies and things, right? The things that make you feel good. So this can be really wonderful. Now, I will say that the fifth house, even though it does tend to be very pleasant, okay, for the most part, we do have shocks and surprises, okay? And so the fifth house here can bring surprise pregnancies. It can bring things like all of a sudden meeting the love of your life, right? There's love affairs and romance. It can be something that you didn't see coming, right? Such as, you know, if you've been casually dating somebody maybe, or if one of your relationships has been evolving in some way, this can be like a proposal, a gift, an offering. something out of the blue, something you didn't see, right? We've got some blind spot energy that's going on here, right? So ultimately, though, something that can really rock your world and hopefully for the better. Some of you here with this new moon, though, right? Remember, with this Uranus energy, it's the wild card. So, you know, kind of anything can happen. Expect the unexpected. But Uranus can really help you to break out of stagnation. So if haven't been having fun, if you haven't been having a good time, all right, this can be, you know, really the key here to infuse some more fun and pleasure and play into your life. But it may come about in very unexpected ways, all right? This is the type of new moon where you could actually surprise yourself, right? I never thought that I would do this, but here I am. So prepare to be shocked and amazed, even if it's just by something that you do, all right? We have the World card. Interesting. Infinite possibilities, out with the old, in with the new. This is successful completion of a cycle. Now, the World card can certainly represent the end of something. We're done. We're at the end of a chapter, end of a cycle. It's been an interesting ride. We've had our ups and downs, and now either we are done, or we're ready to expand and step into the next level of something here, right? So celebrate your success, celebrate wherever you are, whatever you've been doing, right? The World card does bring success and abundance into your life, but it also represents a time or a need or an opportunity for expansion and growth. Now, the next card, of course, after the World card is the Fool. Hello, Uranus, right? But when we step through this portal, when we look at the future, when we look at the potential and possibilities, we look at the big picture, right? Where do you see yourself going? Is it something brand new? Is it getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of a cycle, getting out of the same old, same old? What do you need to do that? Right? So the World card can certainly say that there could be some blessings coming for you. If you've been working hard to achieve something, you could actually have some sort of achievements that are being made known to you, or that you feel that you have accomplished. It doesn't really make sense, does it? But you know what I mean. But you could also have a possibility here, a potential here for a little bit of growth, and maybe even to step through into something new. But the World card can certainly just represent that you may need closure on something here, and you may be getting it. All right. Remember, Pluto is very much at play here, and Pluto endings, but those endings lead way to new beginnings, changes and transformations, things that evolve, things that go up a level, right? But we don't always know what's on the other side. So again, you could be getting a little bit of a surprise here, or you could, again, be closing a chapter, closing a door with this here as well. Remember, we are very much going to be feeling eclipse energy a month early, okay? And it's because it is in Virgo, and because of some of these aspects that are here. This is 0 degrees. The Virgo eclipse in September, the solar eclipse will be at 29 degrees, right? So both are very critical degrees, right? It's endings, new beginnings, endings, new beginnings. So, you know, if you're feeling like so you're being going side to side, or if you haven't been sure, right? You got 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the future, that kind of thing. You've been a little bit back and forth. You could certainly get some sort of breakthrough, okay, in the next couple of months or so, all right? We also have Into Me, I See. Who are you? What do you want? What do you desire? What makes you happy? What doesn't make you happy? All right. This is an invitation to go inwards. Into Me, I See can sometimes represent that you might be entering a time here and really activated with this lunation about opening your heart, letting someone in, letting yourself be seen, or again, just going inwards, right? Virgo is represented by the Hermit card. And the Hermit can certainly represent some healing. It can represent some spirit focus on our spiritual selves. But it's also soul searching energy. And what do we do when we go soul searching? Go inward. Who am I? Why am I here? What makes me happy? What floats my boat? What do I want? And it all starts internal. So open the door, open the portal for not just maybe someone else to see who you really are. Remember, Uranus does encourage authenticity and the truth. And it's not just what we show other people, it's also ourselves. Are we being honest with ourselves? Are we being truthful with ourselves? Because if we're not, right, then how can you be honest and truthful with anyone else? Or how can you expect anyone else to truly understand you, right? Now, of course, this lunation is happening in a fellow earth sign. Okay, so there could be a very practical approach that you can take at this lunation or into making some changes or starting something new at this time for you. But there's certain aspects of this lunation, because it is in an earth sign, that you are going to be feeling comfortable with. Okay, but there's also some things that you're going to be a little bit uncomfortable with, right? So stay grounded, connect with nature. Okay, sometimes especially for earth sign, you sometimes need to touch things, like touch it and feel it and see it in reality, right? And so this can be a great time for you to buy a plant, maybe, whether it's indoor or outdoor, or work with crystals, right? They're connected with the earth, and there's something that you can carry around with you, or you can touch, or you can like meditate on. Something that can like kind of focus your energy a little bit might be very helpful for you at this time as well. Anyway, I'll leave that there for you guys. Good luck in this lunation. Stay grounded. Have fun. Okay. And I hope it all goes well for you. Thank you for watching. We'll move on now to Gemini. Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. So house and home and family, ancestors, children, then your private life, your sense of stability, security are all going to be highlighted for you with this lunation, as this is happening in your fourth house. Fourth house is ruled by the moon, and it brings Cancerian energy. Okay, and so right now, and through this new moon, we do still have Jupiter and Venus both in the sign of Cancer. So this can bring you some abundance, this can bring you growth, but this can also bring some significant change or new beginnings. Some of you might be moving to a new house. Some of you could have some interesting things going on with your family or your children, and there could be some revelation, shocks, and surprises with those things. You could have someone moving in, you could have someone moving out, and hopefully this brings you more stability, because the fourth house is about your safety, security, stability, right? The things that make you feel protected. Okay, so if you've got things going on where maybe you're not feeling safe and secure in your home, whether it's because of people or location, whatever it happens to be, then you might be on a quest for a new beginning, right? A quest for a new neighborhood or a new house, or maybe even something like new roommates, new people to live with, that kind of thing. But the fourth house can also represent, remember, we do have Uranus playing a very key role here with this new moon. And number one, Uranus is in your sign. Okay, so this can be where you do have like grandiose ideas. This can be a really good time for communication. Can be very, not just important, communication is always important, but enlightening, eye-opening, inspiring, perhaps here as well. You could be the one doing the talking, okay? You could be the one letting your voice be heard, right? But maybe you've got some sort of an idea, some sort of dream, something you want, and you haven't quite formulated how to make it happen yet. But, you know, this new moon can certainly encourage you to follow your dreams and turn your ideas into something real and tangible, something you can work with, write them down. Great day, great energy for journaling here with this, right? But remember, Mercury, your ruler, is now direct. Okay, hopefully the bumps have all gone away. We can clear the air, we can resolve matters, we can have more forward, direct, honest, open communication, we can resolve conflicts and issues with this as well. And in your 4th house, right? I mean, who wants to be fighting with who you live with, or who your neighbors are, and things like that, right? So this can be where you kind of get things back on track a little bit. Okay, but some of you could be getting some new technology for your home, maybe a new phone. You could be installing a new home entertainment system. You could be redecorating in some way, upsizing, downsizing, you name it. And again, Uranus in your sign, kind of anything goes anyway. It's like the dawn of a new era, but also Uranus at play with this new moon is helping you find freedom. Okay, but don't be surprised if some people around you, especially people you live with, are a little bit rebellious at this new moon, and that could drive you absolutely crazy, right? Imagine maybe you've got some rebellious teenagers or something that live in your house. Expect them to be probably a little extra rebellious at this time. It'll be relatively short-lived. With the intensity of it, okay, but it can usher in something. So, perhaps you do have some younger teenagers and they're just, the hormones are raging. Stay grounded, okay? Stay grounded. Whatever you need to do that. If you feel your temper flaring because of, some hormones run wild, take a deep breath, okay? Remove yourself from the situation until a little bit later, and then you can come back and fix it. Remember, Virgo does bring the element of healing, fixing things, okay? Helping people in a positive way, all right? So you can certainly have the energy there and the skills to get something back on track, okay? And to resolve some issues. Let's see what tarot cards we've got for you. Okay, we've got big heavy hitters here. We've got the Strength card. Wonderful. Remember, Mercury, your ruler, is in Leo. Strength card. Okay. Time to be courageous, bold, and brave. Time to also tap into your compassionate side as well. Okay. So sometimes, sometimes we do need to be a little bit discerning, but Strength card brings you power and inner strength ultimately. Okay. And why? You want something. We've got the Chariot card here, okay? Some of you here, you've got goals, you've got ambition, and you are really digging in deep. And so sometimes here, if there's something you really want, the Chariot card, right? The Chariot card reminds you that whatever it is that you want, you have the power to move towards it, to make it happen, to get it off the ground and see it through to the end. All right. And the Strength card, Leo energy, this gives you the courage, the power, and the strength to overcome any obstacles, any challenges that you have along your path, whatever they happen to be. Now, the Chariot card can represent overcoming obstacles. It can also represent forward momentum, moving, right? So again, some of you might be moving. The Chariot does represent vehicles as well. So whether you are maybe wanting to have some fun, go on a trip, some of you might be relocating. For some of you with this lunation, maybe you're looking for a new job or you want to open your own business, right? But you are moving forward. For some of you here, perhaps it is a new vehicle, even a bicycle, right? Something with wheels, perhaps here maybe at play for you. So the Chariot card is an awesome energy, right? Where I'm not going to give up. I don't care how difficult this is or how easy it is. I want something and I'm going to get it, right? So you're really in your strength there. But the Chariot is also a card of destiny, right? The stars aligning for you, okay? And again, with this lunation, we do have this finger of fate going on. Sudden fated events may happen, right? Things that are just meant to be. Now, some of you with the Chariot card, you might be actively putting yourself back on your destined path. Perhaps you took some divine detour somewhere, okay? But for others of you, it's like I didn't see this coming, because when we're talking about, fated events, right, the wheels are already in motion. All right. And we don't always know what it is. And Uranus in your sign, Uranus anyway, right, will certainly bring us unexpected things. But in your sign, you're probably really going to have some interesting things happening again, whether it's an awakening, whether it's just unforetold events, something that you didn't see coming, or maybe right? Because your intuition is certainly going to be very much heightened at this time as well. So trust it. And the Strength card here gives you the ultimate power of discernment. Know when to be brute strength, forceful, courageous, bold, take the lead, okay? But also, it does highlight discernment as to when to take a gentler approach at things, to be more kind and compassionate, not just with yourself, but also other people as well. Very interesting energy. Have big energy there for you. And we have beyond the ordinary. Think outside the box. Look to the future. Anything is possible for you now. Seriously, anything. What do you want? Where do you see yourself going? What don't you see? Beyond the ordinary can certainly represent you. You're unique. You're a unicorn. Right? But this can also represent the power that is surrounding you right now that you can tap into. Think beyond the ordinary. Think extraordinary. And again, you're being propelled forward. It'll be a different direction for each and every one of you. I would love to know what is happening for you guys. I would love it. Remember, even if you have to leave something behind, or maybe something leaves you behind and it feels like an ultimate disaster, in some way it's bringing you the freedom that you may know that you needed, okay, but maybe that you didn't realize was holding you back. So the freedom you didn't know you needed to be freed. Maybe on some level you did. And so these unexpected things that can happen, even though they might feel like a disaster, over the next month, 6 months, you will gain deeper understanding as to why something happened. But hopefully you get wonderful blessings and new beginnings. But something exciting. Might not feel exciting right away, but it will be exciting for you. Having said all that, guys, I'm going to leave that there for you. I thank you for watching. Good luck in this lunation, and we will move on now to Cancer. Hello there, Cancer, and welcome to the new moon in Virgo reading. It's all about communication for you guys. Now, fortunately, okay, this lunation is happening in your third house, which is ruled, it brings Gemini energy, but it is ruled by Mercury. Mercury, of course, has just gone direct in the sign of Leo, okay? Brings you some passion, some fire, some leadership energy, but also courage and strength, okay? So this can be really wonderful to go out and have some fun, or to maybe even the courage to get out of your comfort zone or do something a little bit different or have a conversation. Mercury, of course, is the planet of communication. Mercury also does rule Virgo, which is where this lunation is happening. So for some of you here, there could be new ways of communicating, right? You could be discovering how to talk to somebody and how to get your point across, or how to make yourself heard, right? Everyone communicates a little bit differently, and everyone understands things a little bit differently. And so this can be where you are maybe gaining a deeper level of understanding on the best way to communicate with a coworker, the best way to communicate with a family member, and you have the ability here to be flexible. So how you would communicate or talk to or train, if you have any employees or something that you train in your day-to-day work, people that report to you or anything like that, or maybe just someone in your own department that you help out, how you explain and train one person will be different than how you explain and train to another, right? Because people understand things differently. This person might learn by doing things, and this person over here might need a lengthier explanation with the big picture, right? So your superpower here can be being flexible and adaptable in how you do communicate. Your third house also has to do with your neighborhoods, short trips, your social life, your perception of things, right? How you see things. So you could have something shifting or evolving there, right? You're seeing things a little bit differently. But the third house also can have to do with, going on short trips, having some fun, right? So, maybe even some of you might be getting some new technology at this time here as well. All right. But ultimately, whatever you've been back and forth on, or if you've been having some challenging times in regards to communication, things will certainly get a little bit better. But the third house is great for, for not just thinking about things or thinking things through, but also turning your ideas, your thoughts into something real, right? Virgo is, earth sign, right? And when we have earth sign energy, it's things that we can touch and feel. We can see things, right? Things manifest in reality, right? And so this can certainly be where you turn your thought into something that you can see, right? Get it out there in the world, even if it's just for you. So this can be a really great time to formulate a plan, write some things down. Journaling can certainly be very liberating for you, but also helps you focus, right? When you write things down, number one, it puts it out into the universe, right? You can see it, you can read it out loud, other people can see it, right? But it can also be getting organized, right? And Virgo energy, Virgo new moon, can be about getting things organized, right? So with you guys, that might actually be a really good way for you to focus, right? On the things that you want, things you want to achieve, things you want to change, whatever it happens to be for you. Let's see, we've got bearing fruit. Beautiful. Bearing fruit energy right here is number one, about something blossoming, something you can touch and feel, something you can see, something exciting. All right. This is a time of harvest, a time of growth for you. So in whatever area, whatever aspect that you want that to be, right? When we think about, someone comes bearing fruit, bearing gifts, right? There could be an offering, there could be a gift, an opportunity, something coming to fruition for you now. And it could be something very exciting. We've got the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands, the world is your oyster, right? We have an idea of what we want, and the Two of Wands, we're making a decision. How do I make it happen? Where do I want to go? What do I need to change? Where do I need to start? And so you're making decisions there. Some of you may have a couple of different opportunities, a couple of different paths that you can take. When we do get the Two of Wands, our path forward is clear. Our blocks and our obstacles are removed. And often, that block somewhere along the road is within us. All right. But we can also, of course, suggest that Mercury is now direct. And so that is one big block that has now been removed. It's like, woo, full steam ahead. But with the Two of Wands, this can represent duality. Which third house, Gemini, duality. Okay. So you could have multiple options, multiple decisions, multiple paths that you can take. For some of you, again, the third house does represent travel, and the Two of Wands, it's like, where should we go? The person is literally holding a globe. Now, typically with the third house, it's shorter trips, things that maybe, think of like hop in the car, we're going to go on a road trip rather than get on a plane and fly. Okay. You could potentially here, just so you're aware, if you have any travel planned around this new moon, you could have unexpected travel delays, travel changes, itinerary changes, things like that. And so you might really need to go back to the drawing board. Okay. And it can actually work out better for you. Maybe it works out to be cheaper. Maybe it works out to be a little less stressful and more fun, right? And so it can be anything to do with travel documents. It can be airlines. I mean, there's a whole bunch of airline disruptions that have been going on the last little while. Okay, it can be something like that. It can be, hey, we're in the middle of summer. We've got a tree right here, right? It can be like maybe forest fires or something where you want it to go. And so, you know, you can look at a travel delay or a change in your travel plans. You can actually look at it as a blessing in some way. Maybe you just keep it a little more simple than what it was going to be. But with that Two of Wands, again, you have opportunities. You have options. All right. So think big here in this energy. Look at the possibilities and not look at the things that you can't do. All right. Because that will just kind of keep you doing nothing, or it'll keep you stuck. All right. Open mind is the way to go with this. All right. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I do hope you have a wonderful, magical lunation. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello there, Leo, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. So, Leo, this is your house of money that is highlighted here for you under this lunation. So your second house is ruled by Venus. It brings Taurus energy. Venus right now is in the sign of Cancer with Jupiter. So this can be certainly an opportunity for you for new jobs, new investment opportunities. It can be where you buy yourself something new. The second house does have to do with your material and physical experiences and things, your work, your income, right? Your money, how you make it, how you spend it, the things you own, your property, but also your self-esteem and your personal values here as well. And of course, your habits and your habits and your belief systems, especially around money and possessions. So with this being a new moon, right? Again, some of you could be buying something new. You could be selling some of your possessions to, number one, declutter. And then of course the benefit to that is, especially if you're selling things, is you get a little extra money in your pocket. So you could be like consolidating a whole bunch of things, right? I'm going to get rid of these 10 things so I can buy one bright and shiny thing that I really want. With this, you could have new jobs, new investment opportunities. Again, you could be buying something new. Okay. You could be, again, decluttering or getting rid of something old, right? You know, there could be changes going on around your job. Maybe you are initiating some changes. There might be some things going on around your workplace that maybe isn't you directly. And so you could be like an observer, right? You could be watching something happen, but this could potentially open up some doors for you. So for example, if you're maybe itching for a promotion, and, you know, Leo, a lot of you tend to be, I mean, Leos do tend to be leaders, right? Or at least in the spotlight in some way, right? And so, but if you do have leadership potential and desires, right? If someone leaves, this might be an opportunity for you to step into a higher level of responsibility or step into a leadership role, a supervisor, manager, big boss, whatever it happens to be, right? So you might also be wanting to be your own boss at this time as well. Something that can be very rewarding for you, and maybe you have the potential here to be quite innovative in whatever it is you do. But remember, this zero, this fresh start, this unlimited possibilities that we've got here, you're only limited by your own imagination. Okay. I will say, because we do have Uranus at play, we've got like a whole bunch of interesting things going on, right, with this moon, especially some sudden twists of fate, things like that, things that are already in motion, okay, that may not necessarily be within your control to either start or stop, okay, because things are already happening behind the scenes. Do pay attention to your money, all right? If you're not comfortable, you know, taking a higher level of risk with your investments, you may want to have a look at that before the new moon comes in, okay, before eclipse season starts, all right? So maybe you've got some money parked in an investment that used to be okay, but now it's kind of been a little bit rocky. You probably already have a little bit of an inkling there. Again, take a practical step, a practical approach. That's Virgo encouraging you to do that, but this is your second house, right? So there might be a better new place where you can put your money, where you still do get some interest, right? Or dividends or whatever it happens to be, but it's a little less risky than maybe where it is right now. So you are the one that's assessing your risk, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I can just tell you what's going on. And when we've got this Uranus thing here shaking things up, Pluto as well can certainly shake things up, and this lunation is in your house of money. So we do just want to pay a little bit of attention to that. If you feel like everything is fine, then just ride the wave. It's like, I only lost money on paper. It'll come back up again. And if you're confident in that, great, no problem. All right. So just be a little bit aware that there could be some unexpected things going on with your income or the things that you own. We have the Chariot coming out here. Now, are you going to do something unexpected, Leo? Are you buying yourself a new car? Did you already buy yourself a new car? Did you order a new car? The Chariot card can certainly represent a vehicle. Okay, so, and of course, your house of money and something new. So, but you could have, if you have your eye on a new car, all of a sudden, maybe something better comes on the lot, or unexpectedly something goes on sale. And so a vehicle or something that you thought was just out of your reach, maybe now you can get. That can be interesting. But the Chariot, yes, it can be very, very practically and very realistically a car, okay? Or anything with wheels for that matter, all right? It can also represent forward movement, moving from one place to another. So again, for some of you here, you might move your money from one place to another. You might be wanting a job change, or you might want to be moving forward, onward, and upward. And the Chariot card is a card of ambition, willpower, drive, determination, confidence, and it is also one of success. So successfully making change, successfully overcoming an obstacle, successfully powering through a challenging time, right? So it's really awesome energy. But I will say also the Chariot card is a card of destiny. It's written in the stars. Something is already in motion for you here. Really trust your instincts. Trust your gut feeling. Trust your intuition, right? However it comes out for you. If you keep seeing like the same repeating numbers pop up all over the place, right? Pay attention to them, okay? Pay attention to not just what you're seeing, all right, but also where. And in what you were doing, or what state of mind or what energy were you in at the time. For example, like if you keep hearing the same song on the radio, right? Maybe it means that you need to listen and pay attention to the words, pay attention to details, right? If you're seeing something outside, like outside your window or in nature or something like that, that could mean maybe you do need to get out of the confines of your house or your office, right? If you see, numbers appearing on a clock, it could represent, don't worry about time, but it can also represent the timing of something, right? It could be this is the right time, it's not the right time, right? So sometimes paying attention to not just your signs and symbols and things that you do see, but also where you're seeing them and what your energy is at that time, right? But the Chariot can certainly be something very exciting that you're about to achieve or that you're striving towards. It's in the upright, awesome energy. We also have Divine Matrix. Ooh. Now the Divine Matrix reminds you, all right, of the infinite possibilities, the infinite energy that is surrounding us, right? And so with this energy here, again, there's higher powers at play for you here. Okay. Whether you're going to have awakening, whether you're going to have a deep realization of something. There could be something that is being told to you in a dream. Something here is a little bit mystical, a little bit magical. All right. But in the divine matrix, we are all part of the universe, right? Yes, there's certain things that are meant to be, right? That fated energy, right? It's meant to be. Good, the bad, the ugly, right? The joyous, hopefully, right? It's all meant to be. But we are part of the universe. So if you have been feeling maybe a little bit left out or alone or left behind, even, you're going to be getting your mojo back here. If you've been feeling a little unstable, I feel like there's things that are going to be shown to you, or things that are going to open up for you, things that are going to happen for you, whether internally or externally, that have the potential to bring a little bit more stability and security into your life. The Divine Matrix card is number 44. Okay, fours do bring stability and security to many aspects of your life. 4 is also representing Cancerian energy, 4th house. The Chariot, Cancerian energy, 4th house. Okay, and your 4th house is, right now, we do have Venus and Jupiter both hanging out there in the sign of Cancer. Okay, 4th zodiac, right? And bringing you luck in love, in money, in possessions, helping you bring more stability and security into your life, and also bringing you abundance and growth, and perhaps some very creative new beginnings. The Venus energy can, of course, also bring you abundance into your life, as can Jupiter. So you could have a little bit of mystery and magic and a little bit of luck on your side throughout this lunation as well, and we're going to need it. Okay, we're certainly going to need a little bit of luck to navigate some of this bumpy energy. But remember, no matter what bumps in the road you might face, you got that Chariot card, that Cancerian energy that is certainly leading you to a better place. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful lunation, and we're going on now to Virgo. Hello there, Virgo, and welcome to your new moon reading. Of course, this is happening in your first house, the house of you, the house of self. So some of you, okay, thank you. Some of you are going to be shifting your focus. Okay. Looking in the mirror and being honest and truthful with yourself. Okay. You are known for being very helpful to other people. But do you have your limits? Are you at your limits? Are people starting to take advantage of you? Are you spending so much time being helpful to other people, being of service to other people, that you've left no time and room for focus on you? Do you feel like you've been left behind? Do you feel as though you give all of these people these help and support to make them successful or to make them happier and healthier, but it's not necessarily reciprocated? Boundaries may be part and parcel what you're focusing on at this new moon. But ultimately, this is about you. What do you want? Are you happy? Are you not happy? What are you hoping for? What are you wishing for? What new beginning are you looking for? What new energy are you wanting? Because this first house is a shift to you. Some of you might be doing something like sprucing up your haircut. Maybe you haven't changed your hairstyle in a number of years. This might be where you're like, you know what? I'm going to try something different. Because remember, we do have Uranus coming in here for you. Now, Uranus makes us uncomfortable sometimes, right? And Uranus it's like, okay, what are you bringing me? I don't know. It can be something really exciting, can also be something scary. It can be something that leads us to the path of freedom, but ultimately, Uranus wants you to be you. Not conformist, not putting yourself in a box. Uranus is freedom. Freedom to be you, freedom to be weird, freedom to follow your goals and dreams, freedom that propels you into the future and doesn't look back. So whether it's something like, your first house is typically what, the face you put onto the world, right? Your approach to life. Okay, so maybe you're going to change your approach to life a little bit here. Perhaps your attitude towards people or situations or things has changed a little bit, and this is like a new you. Again, maybe it's a new wardrobe, maybe it's a new hairstyle, a hair color, right? Could be. Just keep in mind though that because we do have Uranus and some other things going on here, that rebellious energy can be great to get you out of a rut, okay, but it can also be impulsive and rash decisions as well. So if you're going to do something radical, all right, just make sure that it's not going to be something that you can't outgrow at some point, right? So this is where people shave their heads. This is where people dye their hair some wild and crazy color, right? And then they look in the mirror a few days later going, oh man, I wish I didn't do this. Okay. So, just because it's that Uranus rebelliousness there, but hey, maybe it's who you truly are, right? So be authentic, whatever it happens to be. Be authentic, be you. Okay. Be true to yourselves, but this is a green light here to pursue your goals and dreams, to have that fresh start, that new beginning. And it may be something that upsets other people, right? Because usually when we put up boundaries or we start to say no, or we do things for ourselves in our life, sometimes people get upset by that. Sometimes people might look at you and go, what are you doing? You can't do that. That's too much of a risk. Take your risk and go back to your corner, okay? Because sometimes we do need to take a little bit of a chance. Chance on yourself, a chance on your dreams, making something happen, right? Or turning your back on something and saying, nope, that's not for me anymore. I gotta do something different. But this can be a time of great things for you, great new beginnings for you. But again, we do have some things being shaken up internally and or externally for you here. Beautiful. Your tarot card is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, about you being in the spotlight. You are, of course, be in the spotlight at this lunation because it's in your sign. All right. But the Six of Wands is an energy of confidence, of strength, of being recognized, recognizing yourself, or having people see you in a different light, see you for your authentic self. But the Six of Wands brings us a sense of, I did it. I overcame a problem. I overcame a challenge. I overcame an obstacle, and I'm here. I'm better for it. I'm older. I'm wiser. I'm more experienced. And man, oh man, do I ever feel good. The Six of Wands can certainly be riding the wave of success. But of course, this is an energy, again, of being in the spotlight and of being seen. So this can really be a good green light for you, okay, to get yourself out there, right? To show people what you're made of, show people your true colors, show people who you really are, right? Go for the thing that you want. Because often with that Six of Wands does come some sort of reward, right? Whether it's just a reward, a sense of accomplishment, or whether it's someone saying, I see you, I see your skills, I see everything that you bring to the table, and I want you, right? Whether it's for a job or whatever it happens to be, right? So this riding the wave of success. So don't be afraid to let your true self be seen, and don't be afraid to be in the spotlight, right? You are often very humble, okay? Often very down to earth, but this is your time to shine. And for some of you, this can be a major, major awakening, a major epiphany, a major life-changing decision that you make, and it can be a completely fresh start. Maybe it's leaving a relationship behind, saying we've had so many problems, and you know what, this try as hard as we might, I don't see myself going into the future with you, right? That kind of thing. It's gonna be a new beginning with a new person, potentially, right? You're looking at things a little bit differently. And so whatever it happens to be, sometimes these fresh starts that we have, they do come with a lot of challenges, but ultimately when we're ready to leave things behind, we do get rewarded, right? So don't be afraid to make a little bit of a change, or don't be afraid to say no or let some things go. It's difficult, it's hard, it's uncomfortable for sure, okay? But ultimately it leads us down a better path. And we have body and soul. Beautiful. So this is, we do have beautiful dragonfly on there. This is a time of personal growth and awakening for you. Nurture your body, nurture your soul, do some soul searching, some reflection, some meditation. There's probably some messages, some spiritual transformation coming in here for you guys as well. All right, the dragonfly certainly represents messages from spirit, or that spiritual growth and awakening. And of course, with all this happening in your sign, it's your moon. Okay, there can be huge, jolt, let's say, right? Remember, Uranus is the great awakener. So I feel like here, part of that message, because we do have a square with Uranus, is part of that message is something has been blocking you energetically, okay? And so there's some messages coming in. There's something that someone wants to say. Might be your spirit guides, might be an ancestor, might be your own intuition, might be blocked, right? So nurture your body, mind, and soul. Do some meditation, do some reflection, go for a walk outside, connect with nature, ground yourself during this new moon. And I feel like there's something magical that's going on inside of you. But this is also a reminder, again, remember, nurture yourself. Okay, take care of you, Virgo. All right. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I thank you guys for watching. Good luck in this lunation. And we'll move on now to Libra. Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. So this is a little bit of an odd one for you, okay? Because this is happening in your 12th house, right? Now, the 12th house can often represent endings. But we've got a new moon representing new beginnings. But of course, this can be a massive cosmic reset for some of you. Remember, this new moon is at 0 degrees. So it's like there's no beginning and there's no end. And indeed, one thing does flow into another. There's not a separation of things like we would like them to be, right? It's not an ending here and then, okay, I've got this beginning here. Often things do tend to blend. And so you might be feeling a little bit more of that kind of energy. You might be realizing that at this time because your 12th house, last house in the zodiac, represented by Pisces, last sign of the zodiac, okay, and then it leads into this new beginning. So some of you here could recognize that in order for you to do something new or do something different, something else has to close, something else has to stop, something else has to come to an end. And perhaps you're already making steps towards that because it's evolution, right? Some of you here as well, you have been on a path of personal and spiritual growth. And so with the 12th house, this can be a huge shift for you, all right? Because your 12th house is your subconscious, it's karmic debts, it's your dreams, is endings, okay? It's also secrets things that you have kept hidden, parts of you that you have kept hidden from the world, maybe a project, something secret, something you do in secret, something you do in private. Maybe your new beginning is showing your true self or revealing something to someone or to the world in general that you've previously been keeping hidden. But the 12th house can certainly represent seclusion. And so at this new moon, you might be wanting to remove yourself from a little bit of the chaos, right? It's a little bit of a chaotic new moon, okay? And so you might find that you have an overwhelming desire for a little bit of peace and quiet, a little bit of calm. And in that peace of quiet and in that those moments of calm, perhaps you can meditate. You might get some sort of messages. You might get some sort of spiritual download. Maybe if you enter into some meditation, you might fall asleep and have some sort of vivid dream. That's a message for you. There's something there for you. So whatever you've got going on, whether you know what it is or not, go with the flow. Okay? Don't be afraid to evolve. Don't be afraid to look at things a little bit differently. Shift your perspective. But again, maybe there is something going on where you do need to put an end to something, and deep down you know it. It's a perfect opportunity for that big reset. And it could just be something inside of you, right? It could be something that you're ready to lay to rest. Some old past trauma. Maybe you've been working on healing for the longest time. Maybe this is where you feel that release. Remember, Virgo new moon does bring a huge element of healing, right? It also brings this big element of soul searching as well. So it can be very mystical and magical for you in this new moon, okay? But it can also be where you get some sort of deep realization because something is revealed here, right? And it can be scary sometimes, right? Revealing the things that are hidden, even if it's something internal, right? It's like, I thought I dealt with this thing from my past, and here we are feeling the feels again, in the energy again. We're having an ugly cry again. But it's your opportunity for that final release, that final letting go, and that final moving away. So over the next month or so, can certainly be very transformative for you. All right. But it can also bring a lot of newness to things here. But some very deep realizations, okay, and some very big awakenings for you as well. Your tarot card, we've got the 8 of Wands. Woo! You've got some very interesting communication headed your way, and it may hit you up the side of the head like there's nothing else, like nobody's business. The 8 of Wands does quite often bring us some good news, positive communication, but it's also lightning quick, right? It's like, where did that come from? Okay, so something could hit you out of left field, something that you may not necessarily see coming, but you could also have something coming to fruition. Remember, your 12th house, it's the final sign, right? The final house of the zodiac. Okay, and there could be something here that does come to fruition for you, and it leads you forward into something newer, something improved in some way. And it's good news. It's a good thing. Okay. The 8 of Wands certainly is a speedy energy. It's a fast forward energy. And it's one where we overcome something, right? Because typically that 8 of Wands, we fly through the air. Nothing can stop us, right? Any obstacles, any issues, any challenges along the way, no problem. Just going to leapfrog right over those things, and we're going to leave them in our dust. So the 8 of Wands can certainly be very, very exciting. You could potentially also, again, feel the need for seclusion because the 8 of Wands can show there's a lot going on. You're busy. There's a lot of time constraints. Okay. And so again, maybe this can be a little bit of a challenge for you, but if you put your energy towards where you want it to go, you will figure things out, or you will find that quiet space, or you will finish doing what you're doing, right? So that you can have a little bit more time to yourself or whatever it happens to be. But certainly some fast forward momentum here with the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands often also tied with manifestation, right? And again, your 12th house is your last sign of the zodiac, and you're getting ready for a fresh start, right? Your season is coming up. Of course, we step into Libra season. We step into Libra season with a solar eclipse. All right. But, so this can be really, really exciting for you. Okay. And you can have some things manifesting for you. So, I love the Eight of Wands for you. The Eight of Wands in the upright, it's a really good card anyway. Okay. And so go with the flow, keep moving forward, set your intentions, know wherever you're putting in your energy is what is going to blossom for you. So make sure you're putting your energy in where you want it to be. All right. We have feeling the world. Now you could potentially be up in your feels. All right. In this new moon. Okay. So just remember if you are, right, if you are lunar sensitive, I guess we'll call it. Okay, this can certainly be a new moon where it can be a little bit more challenging to navigate. So, stay grounded, work with crystals, connect with nature. Imagine your feet planted on the ground, shooting roots into the ground, and imagine like roots coming up to grab your ankles so you don't fly away, right? A lot of loopy kind of energy with this lunation, okay? But feeling the world can also really be about looking at the big picture, okay? It can be where you get a deeper understanding of things, but you can also get enlightenment with this. Now, this is card number 13. 13 does relate back to the Death card and Pluto energy. And Pluto goes deep. It goes into the depths. It goes into the dark. And Pluto reveals what is hidden. And again, you've got the powerful 12th house energy here for you. So whether you're getting some sort of message revealed to you, whether you are revealing something, or whether there's some secrets or some information or something shocking coming to light, okay? It's meant to bring you to a deeper level of understanding, or it's meant to help you to see the future clearly and see the big picture. All right. But this can certainly be an energy here where you are very much stepping into your empathetic side. Now, this can be a blessing for you, but it can also be challenging to navigate. So again, stay grounded and protect yourself energetically. This is ultimately a really positive card. Okay, 2 really positive cards for you guys. All right, but finding balance might be the key for you. All right, but this is also helping you to realize your infinite potential. The world is your oyster. You've got it in the palm of your hand. What does that mean to you? You're heading into your astrological new year very quickly. And so this is the time of year where you do start to contemplate the bigger picture. You start to contemplate the future. Where have I been? Where am I now? Where do I see myself? And so keep an open mind and keep an open heart, because you could be led down a very interesting path. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful new moon in Virgo. And we're going to move on now to Scorpio. Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. This is happening in your 11th house, and this can be really interesting, really fun. Your 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and of course, the planetary ruler of the 11th house is Uranus. So Uranus could certainly be moving and shaking things for you, but it could also be bringing in some change or realization for you. The 11th house is very social. This has to do with society in general. This can also have to do with charity, with groups, your memberships, the people you connect with. Has to do with your social media. Okay, it also has to do with liberty, freedom of speech maybe, freedom of self, freedom of time, and also highlights your wishes, It's a very futuristic house, and it can certainly also have to do with some science fiction-y stuff. So maybe you realize that, oh my goodness, something out of Star Trek came true. And there's actually a lot of things that were in Star Trek or Star Wars that have certainly come to pass. Now, was it it opens up a little bit of a conversation there. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Did Star Wars or Star Trek come first and then someone invented it? Or was something already in motion? Who knows? But anyway, so there's like some scientific, futuristic kind of energy coming in there. But the 11th house can be where you're feeling, especially with a new moon, you might be feeling a little bit more social. But you could also be feeling a little stagnant, and you could be feeling like it's time to meet new people or connect yourself with some new groups. Because sometimes the 11th house, because it is social and because it is very people-y, right, it can sometimes get very loud or very cluttered. And so a new moon can be connecting with new people or new groups or new platforms, right, that are a little more aligned with who you are now, but now we've got to declutter, right? So there's like a blend of endings here with the 11th house energy, and often there is, right? Because we need to make room for something new and better. And in order to do that, we need to liberate ourselves from the old, from the things we're not aligned with, not connected with, or things that take up our time with no reward, right? So some of you could be cleaning up your social media, right? You might be sitting here thinking, I just don't have time for all of this stuff. It's like I go down this vortex, and I need to free myself from this. I need to maybe just focus on certain ones, or I need to limit my interaction, right? Because you can certainly go down a big rabbit hole there. So you could maybe be wanting to cut something off there, but also welcome in something a little bit new. And so this can be really fun. But the 11th house can be very social for you, and in a very positive and jovial way. But again, the 11th house has to do with your wishes as well. So what are you wishing for? What are you hoping for? The power of Uranus is at your side and is your ally with this, right? Because yes, we've got some challenging aspects going on here with this new moon, right? But as the days progress, it loosens its grip a little bit, okay? So maybe don't set intentions for new beginnings right on the new moon day, okay? Maybe wait just a couple of days, and you'll still be in some new moon energy, okay? But the challenging aspects will have passed. But also there could be something fated that is coming in for you here, that is happening for you, that it's meant to happen, right? Remember, we do have this this finger of fate that's here with how these planets are lining up. And so there could be things like a once in a lifetime opportunity, because again, the way these planets are lined up with these and connected to each other, and they're all outer planets, so they're very slow moving. So this could be something that you've been waiting for a long time. Okay. And it can be something very, very unexpected. So it can be very life-changing. And so it might not necessarily be right in the next few days with this new moon. It could transpire over the next 6 months. And remember, we do have another new moon coming in Virgo, right? But it'll be a solar eclipse on September 21st. So very unexpected happenings can certainly be going on. But again, with your 11th house energy, it can be with people. It can be something that shoots you forward into a very interesting future. And it can be something really exciting. We have the Lovers card. People meeting people. All right. The Lovers card is all about your partnerships, who you're connected to. So for some of you, again, with this social aspect with your 11th house and a new moon, can be meeting new friends, new colleagues, new associates, maybe for some of you, new love, You never know. You could, the Lover's card is certainly about choices, right? Choosing who is best for us to connect with, right? Do I need to let go of this so that this can come in, right? And so we choose wisely when we have the Lover's card. Who am I connecting with? Is this a good connection, or is this not working for me anymore? So we choose to connect, or we choose to disconnect with this. Now, the Lover's card can also represent that there's something happening for you here, okay? Because this is where masculine and feminine come together, okay? And the masculine and feminine inside of us, right? Things are coming into alignment, into balance, into harmony. We get deeper insights. We can make decisions easier. And of course, we are feeling at peace, feeling a sense of calm perhaps here. Now, this is Gemini energy with the Lover's card. Uranus, which rules your 11th house, is in the sign of Gemini right now. And so it is like a fresh start, the dawn of a new era. This is a time of big ideas, making radical change, right? And so with that Lover's card coming in there, this is like amplifying the energy of Uranus for you, but also highlighting the need to communicate, the need to be true and authentic with who you are, but it can also be multiple opportunities that are opening up for you here, right? Duality comes in with Gemini energy, and multiples comes in with Gemini energy. It's the twins, right? So you could have different avenues to make your wishes fulfilled. So it can be a little bit magical for you here that this is opening up. But it is soulmate energy with the Lover's card, and we have all kinds of soulmates. They're not always romantic, okay? But they can be friendships, business partnerships. We can have a soulmate in multiple areas of our life. They're not always here forever, right? But they're always here for a reason. But in the upright here, matchy, okay? We have a deep breath here, and this is card 7. Sevens do tend to be a very spiritual energy. So, so find a little bit of quiet time, okay? Take a deep breath, meditate, okay? You don't need to do anything really fluffy in meditation, okay? You don't necessarily have to work with crystals or candles or all this kind of stuff. Literally, you can sit in the seat of your car, and all it really is, the key is breathing. Close your eyes, deep breath in, hold it for a couple of seconds, deep breath out. Do that a few times, and it's a major energetic reset. But it also does calm your energy. It calms your mind. It releases stress, opens your heart, right? And so, this can certainly be where it can be very helpful for you to make a decision when you're in that kind of energy. It can also be really helpful for you to see your path, see your truth, figure out what answers that you have. But a deep breath. And like I said, again, the 11th house can be very exciting, but it can also be very busy, right? People-y, okay? And, maybe dealing with a bunch of people ain't your thing. Okay, so again, a deep breath, okay? What do you want? What do you need to release? Okay, and what better people or connections can you bring in? But I do feel like there's some sort of movement here towards something that you want. So make a wish upon that star, okay? And be open and in the flow to whatever happens. I'll leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I hope this is a wonderful lunation for you. And we'll move on now to Sagittarius. Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. Oh, Saggy, has it been busy in your workplace? Are you ready for a new job? Are you looking for a promotion? This new moon is happening in your 10th house, which brings with it Capricorn energy. Your 10th house is very much focused on your career, your public image, your reputation, okay, your achievements, your status. All right. Your influence on other people. But it does also very much represent the potential here for some positive movement, especially with your career or with your reputation. Okay. Now, for some of you, your reputation might precede you, and someone could come seeking you out. We do have some unexpected things that may go on here for you over the next month or so. And this can be where a job opportunity, a promotion, or something you never even expected can land in your lap. A little bit of magic can come in here. One thing that I did forget to say in my intro is that right after all of the fun aspects that go on with this new moon, the next day, the next morning, depending where you are, we do have a really positive aspect happening with Jupiter. Okay. So, all hope is not lost. You could certainly have some luck, expansion, growth, or deeper understanding on your side. Okay. But of course, the Uranus energy will still be strong. And so it can be something completely out of left field, something you just never even thought of. I had something happen to me just a couple of weeks ago, and I can't take advantage of that particular opportunity, although if there's another one coming up, I'm there, right? And company that I work for, they want to open an office in Singapore, right? And so there's an open door for multiple people to go work in Singapore, right? So I've got some other stuff going on at home and in my life and whatever, and it's not for me, plus my position that I hold, I can't do it because I have to actually connect with people on a daily, and I can't be in a completely different time zone. But for other people, they're like, wow, this is like the opportunity of a lifetime. I never expected this, right? So as I said in the beginning intro, is that we are feeling this eclipse energy early, right? We got a Virgo new moon in September as well, but that's going to be our solar eclipse. So anything can happen, really. And again, it can open doors for you, or it can get you thinking about making some change. All right. But you could certainly be in line for a new job. Someone could recognize all of what you do, and you could get some form of recognition. So whether it's just a person recognizing you maybe publicly in front of a group of people, or even just to you yourself, but there may be someone who doesn't normally express these things. So you've made some sort of impression, some sort of impact on somebody. Okay, and this can be really good for your future. But so certainly some really positive things can happen. Now, if you have been feeling like it's time for a change, perhaps your job has been going well but busy and draining, sharpen your pencil, spruce up your resume. You just never know what's going to happen when you put yourself outside of your comfort zone. All right. We've got Strength card. Be bold, be brave, take the lead, take charge, and go for it. Mercury is in Leo right now. Mercury is direct, and the Strength card brings Leo energy. Be your own boss. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your career path. Do something different. Get something back on track. And know that you have the strength and the courage, okay, and the confidence to do what you set out to do. Reap the rewards, okay, and don't sell yourself short. Here, Saggy, okay? And you don't normally, but, we all have a shadow side, right? And sometimes you may downplay your accomplishments. All right. No negative talk. Okay. Don't downplay your accomplishments. They are yours. You earned them. You did it. You put time and energy into it. All right. So if someone gives you a compliment, say thank you. Don't do this self-effacing stuff. I go, oh, no, it's no big deal. It's just part of the job. Just say thank you. I put in a lot of effort to get this done. Just take it. Right? Take what is offered to you, take what is given to you, or go for something a little bit new and maybe something a little bit more rewarding. It is what it is. Now there are some fated events that are going on here. You see all these little twinkle stars around this card, but there is a door. What is that door? Is it a door of opportunity? Does this mean that fate is intervening? Accepting things at face value? It is what it is. Does have a door on it for a reason. A door may close, but it reminds us another one is about to open. We can't always see what that door is or what's behind the door. We just need to follow the path. We need to accept the things that we cannot change and grab the bull by the horn, strength cards of the things that we can. It is what it is, represents radical acceptance, engaging with life on life's terms, observing the circumstances, taking things at face value. Who also recognize and release resistance and denial. Those things that keep us held back. So don't hold yourself back, all right? You might be in a job where you're working your fingers to the bone for your benefit, not for anyone else, for your benefit, right? And if you're not getting the opportunities, if you're not getting the rewards and recognition that you should be getting, just accept it, okay? You're probably not going to change it, all right? Typically, one person doesn't often have the power to change an entire company dynamic. But remember, there's a door there. Do you have the courage to walk through it? Do you have the courage to pull that handle and see where it goes? Do you have the courage to step through that portal of opportunity? To let yourself be seen? Accepting things for as they are releases our resistance to things. It also helps us to see clearly, right? Sometimes something is exactly as it seems. There's no conspiracy behind it. It's not always some hidden meaning behind something. If your boss is an ornery, grumpy, old coot or something like that, right? Narcissistic, whatever they happen to be, and is notorious for being really hard on people, for never promoting from within because they promote their buddies or whatever it happens to be, right? Accept the fact that you're probably not going to change that situation, and you either accept that person for who they are and you learn how to navigate that, or you're like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to dwell on that. Okay, it's not a conspiracy against me. It's a situation that is what it is. Now I need to decide, can I accept that? Or do I want to walk through the door? And in our workplaces, where we spend a lot of our time, accepting the things as they are, okay, can be liberating in and of itself, right? Because sometimes you're in a job because it pays really well, right? It might not be the best environment and it might not give you growth, but maybe the money is really good and maybe that's where you are right now. It's like, I really just need the money. And so when you accept all the other things that go on with that as that excess baggage, right? And you're like, I'm not going to worry about those things. I'm just going to come in, I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, and I'm going to go home. It's freeing because you've accepted it, right? But for some of you here, there is some radical opportunities opening up for you here, okay? Whether it's to get rewards and accolades or whether it's to find something brand spanking new. You could also have something new that comes to you, okay? You don't necessarily have to go to it. The strength card, Leo energy, is leadership, okay? and a door opening. So either you are taking the lead, you have an opportunity to step into a leadership role, or for some of you, you could be getting someone new that comes into your world, your workplace perhaps, right? And this can change things. So it may just be that you are observing the changes that are happening around you. And you're like, okay, let's see where this goes. Let's see what happens. So you never know. You could have something really interesting go on with a boss or something like that. Anyway, but accept things, the resistance goes away, okay? And now you can get clarity and focus. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I thank you for watching. I do hope you have a wonderful lunation. And we will move on now to Capricorn. Hello there, Capricorn, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. This is occurring for you in your 9th house. Some of you are getting ready to spread your wings and fly. The 9th house is ruled by Jupiter. It's Sagittarian energy that comes in here, and closely on the heels of this new moon, we do have some really positive alignment there with Jupiter. So you could have expansion, growth, opportunities. You could have some good luck, and there could be some destined events that unfold for you. Now, with the 9th house, I will say, okay, because again, this is a new moon, okay, but we do have some very challenging and unexpected kind of energy that's coming in here with this. And your 9th house does deal with travel. Now, Mercury has gone direct, yay, okay? So that's one problem out of the way, but Uranus is still here, as is Pluto, okay? And so this can represent some potential disruptions in travel, all right? Now, we do have, we do have a number of places in the world where there's been a lot of disruption in airline travel recently, okay, and again, there could be some unexpected turn of events here. So if you do have some travel plans, just know that there could be something that's changing. You could have some last minute changes. Maybe the airline cancels a flight and changes your itinerary. So, or you might be feeling like, you know what, I don't know why, but I really think that I need to go somewhere different than what I've already booked. And it could just be a gut feeling that you have. I just happened to glance at the back of the deck, and we do have the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Wands can represent, travel sometimes, right? It can also represent some good news potentially. So, or overcoming those obstacles and those challenges that may come about. So very interesting that that's on the back of the deck. So anyway, so just be aware that with your travel plans, you could have some unexpected changes. There could be something that's out of your control. Okay. It could lead you to better things, right? Sometimes, hey, I don't know if it happens as much these days, but sometimes, maybe an airline overbooks a flight and you could actually come out, in a better position than you were before. Maybe you get an upgrade to first class or something, or perhaps you get like a travel voucher or something for a couple $100. You never know. And so a little minor inconvenience could actually bring you something good, right? So, again, that's kind of what this new moon brings us. Some sort of disruption or some sort of change or something unexpected can be really annoying, or it can be really, shake, rattle, and roll kind of thing, but it can actually lead us to something a little bit better. So you just never know. But like I said, the 9th house does have to do with long distance travel. Okay, so there could be something there where either you're open to a new destination, okay, but just remember there could be something there that shakes things up. But the 9th house is all about your beliefs, your spirituality, your religion, your higher mind, your philosophies, okay, about the world. Also has to do with some law, okay, your morals, your ethics, right, your big ideas, ceremonies, travel, and publishing. So it's great energy for journaling. You could even turn a journal into something a little bit better. So, if you've been journaling for a long time or jotting down short stories or something, right, you could actually have the potential to turn that into a novel, something, maybe get published, self-published. something as well, right? If if you are so inclined. Some of you are wanting to expand your mind, so perhaps you want to take a new class, a new course. Doesn't necessarily mean you've got to sign up for a 4-year university degree. Maybe you just want to get a little better at computers, or maybe you want to learn about AI, right? So maybe you just take a little course, because the 9th house is expanding your mind. Okay, and for you, Capricorn, right? And especially with this new moon in Virgo having to do with your daily work patterns and routines, this can be something that helps you to gain more knowledge on how to be healthy, or on something health related, or maybe something to do with your nutrition, getting more physically in shape, right? That kind of thing. But it can also be something that helps you in your job, right? And you could be the subject matter expert in your workplace on like AI or something like that. And this is how it can work for us. Something there, right? And just something to expand your higher mind in some way. But you may also be having a big awakening, okay, of some kind. Now, this can bring a little tension, okay? Because in order to have an awakening, you kind of have to be open to it, okay? But there could be a little tension in here again, because the 9th house deals with our spirituality, okay, which does tend to be a little bit more fluid, flexible, and our religion, which tends to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very boxed in, lots of rules, lots of restrictions, that kind of thing, depending on what religious upbringing you have. So there could be something, a little bit of tension inside of you. You're trying to figure out, what do I really believe? I still believe in some of my, religious upbringing, but then I also believe in some of this other stuff as well. So can these be incorporated together, right? And sometimes that's a challenge. Or you could have a little bit of tension with somebody around you, right? Because your belief systems are evolving, and maybe someone else doesn't see things the same way. That's that square with Uranus. That's going to be a challenge for some people. So, and that could potentially be where that challenge is for you. But if we keep an open mind, all right, look into the future, communicate, all right, then things will be good. Do pay attention to the details, and do double check your travel plans. We have the Dreamer. I love this for you. This is wonderful. Your 9th house, again, has to do with your higher mind, your big ideas. What are you dreaming about? There's something there. Is it just something fun? Is it something to beautify your world? Something that just captures your attention? It's like, why do you want to learn that? I don't know. I just want to learn it. Is it something about your career path? Something about your future? What is it? The Dreamer card reminds you to dream big, keep an open mind, have a vision, hold the vision, but be flexible at the same time. So for some of you here, this is your opportunity to step through a portal, step through a door, and have your dreams come true. It may take a while to see things happen, but we just need to take the first step. For others of you, there could be something that, comes in a big way. But whatever it is, right, you have the potential to realize your dreams. Do pay attention to your dreams as well. And we have the Royal You. I love this. This is about your sovereignty, right? Think of, if you were to put on like a royal crown, right? You're in the lap of luxury. You feel good. You feel strong. You are in charge. You are the queen or the king of your own life, of your own story. So be true to you. Be authentic to you, right? You are in charge, right? Step in your own authenticity. Be honest and truthful with yourself and with other people. The truth will always set you free, but believe in yourself here as well. To follow your goals and dreams, to make changes, to live your best life, right? To believe in yourself, ultimately. The royal you. Wear that crown and believe. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. I hope you have a wonderful lunation and, of course, the next 6 months or so to come. But I do thank you for watching, and we'll move on now to Aquarius. Hello there, Aquarius, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. Now, this can be a little bit deep, transformative, and vulnerable for you guys, okay? So you may not necessarily be feeling super comfortable in this energy, okay? This is happening in your 8th house. Now, the 8th house is, of course, bringing in Scorpio energy and is ruled by Pluto. Now, you have Pluto in your sign, right, for the next, I think, till 2040 something. So for a long time, okay? And so you're a little bit used to kind of dealing with the Pluto aspects of things by now. Go with the flow, okay? Start something new, change, evolve, transform, right? So you're a little bit of very much aware of this powerful energy in your sign. But the 8th house has to do with the things that we sometimes keep hidden. All right. It has to do with finances, especially any finances or possessions that you share with other people. It also has to do with intimacy, the things that happen behind closed doors. So some of you could be sprucing up some things in the bedroom right now. All right. Some of you are being encouraged at this new moon to be a little bit more open and vulnerable with your partner. All right. Maybe even share some fantasies or something like that. It can be a little liberating, maybe. But the 8th house does have to do with the things that are inevitable as well. Okay. Births, deaths, taxes, transformations, inheritances. Okay. Anything that we share with another person. Right. And of course, the things that we typically keep hidden or locked away. All right. So some of you here, you could have some interesting, unexpected happenings that do go on. Okay. There could be something that is freeing for you at this new moon. So perhaps if you have a loan, maybe you pay off your loan and now you have a little bit of financial freedom. There could be some secrets that are revealed. So, imagine if you are in a relationship with somebody and it's trucking along quite nicely. It's evolving. You're developing deep feelings, all this kind of stuff. You're talking about the future. Maybe now it's time to move in with each other. Now you start to talk about money. Is that a good conversation? Is that a difficult conversation? Is there something hidden that needs to be revealed? People tend to hide, not out of necessarily malice, although sometimes maybe, but things like student loans, credit card debt, things like that. The fact that they owe somebody some money and it's like, I really don't have a lot of money, that kind of thing. Talking about money, it can be very difficult for a lot of people. Okay. So there could be some conversations about money. There could be something here having to do with the bank, with loans. So you could find that in order for you to feel a little bit more stable in your home, you might go visit a bank and you could potentially get a mortgage, a bank loan or something, or maybe you need to buy a car, right? And so you could be taking out a new loan, right? But by the same token, some of you have financial freedom because you just paid off all your debt. All right. But yes, again, there could be something that is revealed that somebody has not shared yet, and it may have to do with money. Now, of course, we do have births and deaths in this as well. So we've got new beginnings, we've got endings. Okay. And these things do sometimes change our world. Inheritances, yes, we can have those come in, but maybe it's in a new way. For you, it could potentially be somebody wanting to do like a living inheritance, right? Why wait until I die for, to share my wealth with people, that kind of thing. So you could get some help or support from someone there in the form of some sort of inheritance. So whether they just co-sign a loan for you, or whether maybe you do get like some money or some gifts or something like that, that can happen there as well. And it could certainly be a little bit unexpected. For some of you out there, maybe you've got a long lost relative that you haven't seen in a million years, and all of a sudden they will you something, and you like, oh, cool. And it could be something like a stopwatch, a diamond, or it could be some money. You just never know. So anyway, so that 8th house can be very secretive. It can be extremely transformative. This can be where we can have some growth. We can have some spiritual growth here as well. Okay, but we do need to, the best way to navigate this energy, because it is change. Okay, it does represent change. Okay, and you are a fixed sign. All right, so you don't necessarily love change. You will change if there's a good reason, but you're being encouraged to go with the flow. Roll with the punches. Uranus, your ruler, is here to help you. Okay, you're used to the dealings with Uranus there, your modern ruler. So it's like, oh yeah, that's Uranus again. I'm used to this stuff, right? So, be weird, be you, be a little bit rebellious, but, you might need to be a little bit open and vulnerable at this time too. We've got the Knight of Cups. Open your heart and be vulnerable. Wonderful. The Knight of Cups can certainly represent your ability to open your heart, be kind and compassionate, be empathetic, and also to receive. All right. The Knight of Cups can certainly be something that brings you happiness and joy, or something that brings you some spiritual growth of some kind. The Knight of Cups can be someone bringing you a gift, an offer, an opportunity as well. And again, that Knight is in the upright, so it's really positive vibes all around, whatever this represents for you. And we also have a higher view. See things from a higher perspective. Trust your intuition. Be open, right? And remember, like we said, the 8th house can certainly bring transformation and growth on many, many levels, and spiritual is one of them. So again, some of you could be opening to spirit. We might have some messages coming through in some way. Again, you are being brought something here with the Knight of Cups. All right. But the higher view, imagine riding that owl, right? Brings you wisdom. Okay, brings you perspective and helps you see the big picture, right? So even if let's say someone reveals something to you, take the high road, higher view, take the high road as well. Okay, and look at the big picture here. You're pretty good at that anyway. Okay, how are we going to get this back on track, or how are we going to deal with this? What are the possibilities here? And when we do open ourselves up to looking at something from a higher viewpoint, we are at an advantage, right? Because we're not just looking at a problem right in front of us, we're rising above it, right? So it can be very interesting there, but certainly something taking you here to greater heights. And I do feel that you're going to have some sort of epiphany moment, some sort of revelation, something like that there. And of course, you could be the one that's doing a little bit of the revealing. I'll leave that there for you, Aquarius. I thank you for watching. I do hope you have an absolutely wonderful lunation. We'll move on now to Pisces. Hello there, Pisces, and welcome to your new moon in Virgo reading. Now, how are your relationships, Pisces? All you need is love. This new moon hits your 7th house of partnerships. Now, if you are single, there's a little magic in the air for some of you, but there could be something that you just did not expect. So it may be that suddenly you meet the love of your life in the most unexpected place. If you're going grocery shopping at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, you should probably brush your hair, because you just never know, right? But anyways, but in these fated events, it doesn't matter what you look like, right? It's meant to be, okay? So if you are single, whether you're looking for love or not, okay, there could be something very interesting going on for you. If you are already in a partnership, in a romantic relationship, whether you're married or living together, this can be This can be, because it is a new moon, it can be where you are taking things up to the next level, right? You could have a heightened level of commitment. Someone could tell you, I love you for the first time. Maybe someone pops the question, right? Remember, unexpected things can certainly happen at this moon. And so you just never know. You could be talking about, sharing your assets, that kind of thing. You just never know. Okay, but the 7th house does also have to do with partnerships of all kinds. Okay, not just romantic. Okay, you can meet a new friend. You can meet a new potential business partner, right? You could be finding that you are no longer connected with some friends or business partners or even romantic interests that you were previously connected to. And so it's big cosmic reset for you. Is in order for you to have new beginnings, you've got to leave the past in the past. You've got to let something go, right? So for some of you, you are cleaning house at this time, especially where it does involve your partnerships, right? And it's most likely something that's been brewing for a while, okay? And most things do, right? There's usually something going on behind the scenes, whether we want to admit to it or not. Okay, so sometimes these unexpected things, aren't really that unexpected. Okay, so it could be something there, but again, it can be out with the old and in with the new. Out with the old, just so I can be me, and it can be something really exciting for you guys here. So the 7th house has to do with relationships, contracts. Okay, contracts are highlighted in the 7th house. Okay, enemies can live here as well, but you get an awakening of some kind at this too. So if someone is not part of your cheering squad and just pretending to be, okay, this can be where you get that realization and you're like, whoa, no way, Jose. Reset, right? You're gonna be moving on. All right. But we do have romance in here. We do have business partnerships, and we also have balance, fairness, and equality. So if you have a relationship that has not been harmonious, or where there's some sort of inequality going on there, okay, this is the time when you are either going to talk it out. Remember, Mercury is direct in the sign of Leo, so you get the courage to talk something out where maybe you would normally ignore it, right? Put it under the rug, okay, for later. Now is later, all right? So you could really have the courage to have an important conversation, to clear the air, to get something back on track, to talk about what's bothering you, right? And the balance of that partnership is restored, or we might make a decision for either a fresh start with that same partnership, or a fresh start without them. All right. But certainly we can restore some balance and equality here. We've got the Hermit and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Whoa. I will say, Pisces, you are the only one to get the Hermit card, and you are the only one to get the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Hermit card does represent Virgo energy, New Moon in Virgo. And the Wheel of Fortune is the Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Destiny, moving us forward, increase, good luck, good fortune, getting out of our comfort zone, expansion and growth, ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is, of course, your traditional ruler, okay? And very closely on the heels of this new moon, like the very next day, like within hours of it, we do have a very positive connection with Jupiter. So this can be a clearing of the air. This can be something that goes to the next level. This can be something that is healed. Hermit card, right? Hermit does bring in some healing energy here. It also brings some calm. It brings wisdom as well. So you could be getting wise to something or someone, okay? Or you could be using your wisdom to move forward or make a decision or to take something to the next level. But there is a huge energy here of something written in the stars, okay? fate, destiny, whatever it is. Okay, something here is meant to be. So again, we can have, certainly with this new moon, we can have sudden twists of fate, and this can free us from something that's been holding us back, but it can also propel us forward to something that is wonderful. The wheel is in motion. But when this wheel brings you something unexpected, are you going to say yes? Are you going to go for it? Are you going to take a risk or not? The Hermit card showing up here can certainly represent a time of spiritual growth, spiritual connection for you as well. Okay, and of course it does bring in healing, but it certainly can have you be a reminder to you to be grounded, down to earth, and calm in whatever it is that you're doing. But it's also great for meditation, reflection, and soul searching. Okay, so so certainly, be ready for the unexpected or for some surprises, but these can be from the internal as well as in your external world as well. So great time for meditation. Listen to your intuition for sure. We always should, but sometimes we push it aside. This is not going to be one of those times. All right. Very interesting energy there for you. We've got roots of abundance coming here for you as well. It's wonderful. The roots of abundance, abundance is taking root in your life, and this is a time of blossoming and growth for you. Some of you may have some gifts coming in here, but this can, again, the Wheel of Fortune can represent a sudden turn of events. It can represent surprises, but it can also represent a new cycle of increase and growth coming in for you. And with the roots of abundance, all of the seeds of intentions that you have set previously and that you set now, these are taking root, they're taking hold, and there is some opportunities, abundance, prosperity, you name it, okay, that is all opening up for you. So not just in the short term, okay, but also in the longer term over the next 6 months or so. Okay, we've got short-term cycles with the moon, right? Every 2 weeks or every 30 days or so. And of course, every 6 months. This new moon will turn into a full moon in 6 months. But of course, we have an eclipse to follow in the sign of Virgo in 1 month's time as well. And so you just never know. There could be a lot of very interesting things opening up for you. All right, but get grounded though with this moon, okay? Because there is the potential to kind of feel like you're out of control or floating away. All right, I'll leave that there for you guys. I hope there was something here for you. Good luck in this lunation. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.